Hello and welcome to this quick video tutorial. My name is Garrett, and for reasons, I will show you today how to install the help desk solution Zammad on a freshly set up CentOS8 server. You will find the installation manual and all the source codes on zammad.org. If you're interested in a commercial license, you will find that on zammad.com. But let's just get started. First, we need to make sure to have all package dependencies installed. So we will start with them. Don't forget to add sudo if you're not with your root account. Next, we need to decide what database server we want to use. The suggested database server is PostgreSQL, which needs to be configured in UTF-8 mode. To make sure our system is configured in UTF-8, you can use the following command to make sure your local is set up correctly. If it's not, there's another command with which you can change that. There are other solutions to make sure your database server is set on UTF-8, but this is the easiest ones. The download description from PostgreSQL is on their website. You'll find the link below. There you can select the version you want to install, the platform you're using, and the architecture. So let's get started with that. At this point, when you initialize the database, Postgres decided what will be their default setting, which we want to be UTF-8 for Zammad. We don't need to create any databases or users at this point. This will be done by the Zammad package installation later on automatically. Next step after database server will be to install a reverse proxy. We decide to use Nginx for that. I highly recommend that. There's also on the Nginx website an installation manual. You will find a link in the description below. We start with the prerequisites. Make sure to add the repository to the according file. And we can proceed with the installation. At this point, we also make sure that it started with the system and that it started right now. Next, we need to set up Elasticsearch. There's also a plugin we need to install. We will do that afterwards, but let's head to the Elasticsearch website and get their manual to install everything. Also, we need to add the repository here and make sure to choose the first option as it is for CentOS. Before we follow the instructions from this package installer, we want to make sure that the requested add-on ingest attachment is installed too. You can use the following command for that. This is needed for attachment scanning and also some other features. Then we proceed with the commands package script gave us. If you are using several more agents, you will want to optimize the configuration of Elasticsearch. You will also find some suggested configuration tweakments, performance tweakments for Elasticsearch on the Zammad website. After that, we want to make sure the locals are correct. We already done that previously to the database installation. And now we want to add the repository for Zammad. We start with the repository key. And we can finally install Zammad itself. corrections to the file permission, like suggested here in the manual as well. Then we need to set up the firewall. And make sure that Ngix or Apache will be able to access the files that are relevant for them. Finally, as I already said, make adjustments to the firewall. And we are at the point that we can enable and start the Zammad processes. There are 3 processes. You can enable, stop, and start them with one collected command, which we are using here. The next steps are to connect Zammad with Elasticsearch and to configure the web server. Let's start with the connection. There are actually only 2 commands you need to do here. First, you need to tell Zammad where to find the Elasticsearch server, which is currently listening on localhost port 9200. Yes, I need to do sudo for that. And then we will build the first search index, which will be pretty empty, but we need to do it anyway. There are some optional settings I highly recommend looking into in your production environment, like protecting your Elasticsearch engine, setting up user accounts and stuff like that. And we need to configure the web server. I skipped the SSL certificate stuff on my test environment here. Please make sure that you use that if you want to give external access to your Zammad installation. But what we need to adjust is at least the host name on the reverse proxy. As I said, Zammad already created a configuration file in the according folder, so we are just looking into that. There are several options you can do. The most important one is to make sure that your correct server name and host name is set up here, so you are able to access that server. After you've done that, you need to restart your reverse proxy, and we should be able to access our new installation. Let's hit F5. There we are. And now you can set up your freshly installed Zammad server. You will want to make some adjustments in a production environment, to especially performance tweaks, but now you have a good basis. Have fun and bye.